Anyway, Drew Barrymore is here tonight. I hold in my hand the January holiday anniversary issue of Playboy magazine. That'd be the one with Drew Barrymore on the cover. Now, a lot of people think that this is the reason that this magazine sold a lot of copies, but let me just clue you into something here. On page 120 is a picture of T.S., okay? If it hadn't been for this picture, Drew Barrymore would be nowhere. And you know what's great about this, and this is why I get steamed at people who write about me in the press. The guy who did this, and he's a very, very nice guy. He came to the office over at CNBC, and they made the picture there. If I weren't on TV, I could find my glasses in a second, you know. But he came over to CNBC, and he said, you know, what distinguishes you, Tom, as a talk show host who's been around and knows how to do this sort of thing? And I told him, you know, about the 40 years that I've been in radio and television, and I worked for NBC late at night for 9 years. I did ABC radio. Well, you know this because you call, and we've been together for a long time. And that's a fairly innocent question. Now we get to the Playboy magazine, and here's the question. The answer's there, the same answer I gave. He says, what do you know about late night that Conan O'Brien is still years away from understanding? He says, now right away it's a confrontation between me and the fellow over at NBC, and they never mentioned this in the question. And so now the readers read this and they think, well, you know, there goes Snyder again shooting his mouth off. And I was just answering a very, very simple question. And then on the cover of said magazine, I don't know if you can read this because they print it in that funny ink and it probably doesn't reproduce well on television. You'd have to really get tight on this, Mikey. It says, Tom Snyder, late night's big mouth. Now, where does that come from, for heaven's sake? You know, here again, you know, they set you up and then they rip your heart out. But anyway, Drew Barrymore is here. But what's on the back of this cover? Why, for heaven's sake. Look, that's amazing. Smirnoff vodka. 7800 Beverly Boulevard. What time does the loading dock open? Anyway, folks, keep this in mind as you go through your evening, that to a virus, all of us are just a huge pile of meat. Well, where is the shop where I give the drink to tonight?
Over there.
I keep looking around to, oh, okay, I keep looking around to toast you, and I'm over here and he's over there, and so I'll get it right tonight. Anyway, Drew Barrymore is here, and Ken Hamlin a bit later on, and the folks from the Grammy Awards downtown. Settle back, relax, enjoy the show, and watch the pictures as they fly through the air. Thanks for watching, everybody. Actress Drew Barrymore is but 20 years of age. She has been in the public eye for most of her life. She carries on the famous Barrymore legacy of fine acting in her terrific film Boys on the Side, in which she appears opposite Whoopi Goldberg. And we are delighted, young lady, to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
And
I'm so delighted to be here.
well, we saw you with Dave, and we said, let's see if when she's in California, she'll come in here. And son of a gun, you said yes.
Absolutely. Actually, when we started promotion for Boys on the Side, this was the first thing we chose to do.
Really?
Yeah, you guys called me. We're like, we're there.
Terrific.
Excellent.
Whoopi was here. We had a great time, and we look forward to having you here
We've
tonight.
been watching since the premiere night.
Listen, this Playboy piece here.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look great, but I just
Thanks.
wondered, isn't it really tough to walk into a studio? I mean, I think there's a basic shyness that everybody has about just having their picture taken, and you've got to do it with
No clothes on?
some of your clothes off, yeah.
I don't know. I think, you know, for me, it was just like this adventure I chose to do, and the truth is it's taken me a lot of years, and I still have a lot of work to do, you know, to go in life, but I'm real comfortable in my skin. Really, really comfortable. Being naked is so natural to me.
Yeah.
You know, I think the human body is a really beautiful thing. It shouldn't be exploited. It should be admired, you know.
But you really would, I would think, have to trust the photographer to know that, in this case, it was a woman.
I did.
Right.
I
But
did.
that she's not going to put you in a position that's going to make you look stupid. Now, I did question the one about you with the tire. You know?
Well, we had sort of like this, you know, like girl next door theme, and you know, we were in all these like garages and like deserty type areas, and it was sort of like white trashy Lolita-esque, like girl next door, you know, kind of country farmish. But Ellen von Unworth, the photographer, is one of the most incredible photographers in the history of photography, and we work together all the time. And she's just this incredible woman who I find so inspiring. Her pictures are like works of art. So I knew that if we did this together, it would be, you know, not only fun and safe.
But was her idea, and they showed Drew in a very wonderful pose and very, very innocent, but she's got this big old tire that she's leaning on. It's not even a white wall, for heaven's sake.
No,
you know, it's
of
just
course
a plain
not.
old black wall tire.
Yeah, we found it. We were like, great. And I just started like playing with it and rolling, and that's where the picture came from.
It's hard to have your picture taken in still if you're a movie actress, you know, because when they shoot you with a camera, as they do us, we're moving.
Yeah.
But when you're snapped and you're frozen, they can make you look awful stupid.
There's an immortality, definitely, that's different with print than celluloid. I would have to agree with that 100%. Because you're going through this whole, like, motions thing, and it's only 1 second of it captured. And you just hope it's the right second.
You know, as long as you showed me yours.
You're going to show me yours.
Whoops, man, don't get this one on TV, or we are out of here. It won't be 5 more weeks. I'll find it in the break. Anyway, your life took a dramatic change after you were the little kid in E.T. All of a sudden, your childhood was robbed from you almost.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could definitely put it that way. Even I saw it that way at some times, you know. But the truth of the matter is, you know, people go, what would your life be like if it wasn't like it is? The truth is I don't know, because it was like it was. And the truth also is I wouldn't have it any other way, you know, because I wouldn't be at this very place now, sitting here in this beautiful studio with you, comfortable in my skin, happy about life, and just enthralled, you know. So everything is sort of fate and bleeds into each other for the right reasons.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm thinking at 9 years old, you make a movie and all of a sudden, wow, everybody wants you, everybody's tugging at you, everybody wants a piece of the rock, you know? Yeah,
that part was kind of freaky, you know, and it's still, I think, definitely for me the hardest part about my job, because that's really how I look at it. It's a job, and I feel very grateful to be employed, and I only hope to be successful enough in the way that I can keep on working. You know, that's what success is.
Oh, I don't think, and I'll get to the movie here in a second, but I don't think after Boys on the Side you have to worry much about future employment. You are so wonderful in this picture. And do we have a little bit to show in a little while, or so we'll get to. Let me ask you here about the book that you wrote, Little Girl Lost.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the specifics because everybo's heard it and they're sick to death of it, and they can read it in the book.
It's such an old, tired story.
How did you decide what to put in the book and what to leave out?
Well, I think, you know, just like with all, you know, disclosure of anything, there's a point where you have to cut it off, because if you don't remain a certain sense of privacy, you will go nuts.
Right.
And that's what I mean by that's the hardest part of my job, is that, you know, my life since the day I was 6 years old has basically been an open book. And, you know, in that it has been very challenging and a lot of hurdles, I should say, to get through. But it's prepared me for now, because, you know, my career stopped for a certain point and no one, you know, looked in my direction. And now it's, you know, been happening again over the last couple of years, and it's made me come to an incredible conclusion, which is to be you know, and I learned this through life experiences, is that remain humble, don't have an ego, they're totally disgusting, and always be grateful for what you have, you know? And it's strange in some self-serving way, it's more gratifying.
How grateful that your last name is Barrymore and help or hindrance?
Well, it was funny because actually in the pre-interview they asked me if it opened doors or closed doors for me being a Barrymore, and it really did neither. I mean, some people thought because, you know, I'm related to this family I must be nuts too, and they're right. But out of, you know...
By the way, I think you have to be a little nuts to muddle through this world. And I mean, if you're watching this O.J. Simpson trial, the whole world is insane.
Oh, God, please. I know. It's got to go. It's just got to go away, all of it. The media is a strange thing. I just wish it would work in more positive ways at times.
In some ways it does.
Yes,
in
some
many
ways it does. I think it's important for knowledge, but not exploitation. There's like a fine line there, and somehow in the 80s it sort of seemed to have crossed over very strangely, you know. I've watched the way media works.
So while you are the bearer of a name that is legendary in the theatrical world, it does not mean that you should be judged by it, nor do you expect it to open any doors, nor should any doors be kept closed, because your last name starts with the letter B, is what you're telling me.
Yes. And I heard you refer to yourself as T.S.
Yep.
And that's funny because my friends call me D. My nickname's Daisy, but they call me D.
Really?
Yeah. They call me...
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well,
good.
I just love them. you know?
Daisy.
They're like sunshine from the ground or something.
As a matter of fact, didn't you tell your gardener, whoever's helping you with the house, to cover the whole lawn with flowers?
Yes. I just said, please, I want daisies everywhere. And I was walking through the property the other day, and it's just, a really small, nice, modest little house, but it's mine, and I feel very lucky for that.
Right.
Actually, my boyfriend and I are moving in there tomorrow. It's so hectic.
Oh, you're kidding.
8 a.m. Yep.
This is the guy from the band?
Yeah, Eric. Oh, God, he's going to be watching this tonight, and he's going to be looking over at me like...
I thought you were moving in tomorrow.
Oh, God, I'm so glad you're so geeky. But that's the thing, we get to be geeky together. That's the best part about it.
Oh, you're talking about Eric?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a bigger geek, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But not like you're going to see him later on tonight, but
Yes,
I thought you were moving in tomorrow.
No, we are, but he's coming from Seattle tonight. In fact, he's arriving probably as we speak.
Really?
Yeah, he's moving his stuff
I could have a car sent down to the airport if you want.
I was like, you know what? I wish I could be Superwoman tonight, but I'm not going to be finished till 10:30, so I can't pick you up. So.
Oh, you can still be Superwoman tonight. You know. It's just a
Woo! Well, I've got Superman on, so,
We will continue with the charming Drew Barrymore and as many of you as time permits on the toll-free connection at 800-95-CBS-TV on the other side of these messages.
Now, let me guess. You must be Robin. Nice to meet you, Robin. And this is Jane.
Oh.
Hi, Jane. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Peppers.
Yes, they're from my garden.
Oh, isn't he sweet?
Hold on, babe. You know that I'm still in uniform.
Isn't that cute? He takes it so serious.
Ah.
Where does that innocence come from? It comes from you. Not that I know you a little bit, but I mean, in this picture, you are so in love with life and with this guy, this cop, and with Whoopi and with Mary Louise Parker, who suffers through another movie.
Yes.
This poor woman, everything she makes, she's ill. But there is the scene on the bus where you've killed the guy with the ball bat, and they're trying to stop the bus. And they're in a car alongside the bus, and you're making all these faces.
Yeah.
It's just a wondrous moment in film. It's just wonderful. Yeah.
It's sort of like, very dishy. Holly is like, oh, God, she's just this, like, incredibly beautiful, sensual spirit, and she really does. That's exactly it. She loves life. And somehow she's managed to remain oblivious to the ugliness, and I think that is one of the most beautiful things. Maybe people can take it as naive. I think it's like amazing, and that she's so trusting and open, and she believes that everybody has this incredible good side to them, no matter what. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what a refreshing change, and I definitely got to. I had a great outlet with this character. We just completely created her. We had something really wonderful to work from with the base of the writing. And I just sort of brought her to life.
And I'll tell you about Whoopi. When she was here that night, there's something about her that touches people. But not only on screen, but when you meet her. She's so centered, and she touches you.
She's like a genuine humanitarian in the most uncontrived, eloquent of ways, if you think about it. I mean, she really is. She's out there talking about the things she wants to do in life, and she's out there doing them. And she, to me, is such an inspiration. I love this woman so much with all my heart, and I just look up to her in such a grand way.
Had you known her before you made the picture?
Oh, yeah, she's the one who brought it to me. I would not be in this movie if it wasn't for Whoopi. Yeah, we met on the set of The Color Purple. And Stephen had flown me down to South Carolina because I was working in North Carolina, and he said, just come down for the week and hang out. And I made friends with her, and she was so nice. I'm 9 years old, and she's hanging out with me. And I was like, great, I love that. And we've known each other for years ever since. And she just called me one day and said, I've got 3 movies to do before this, but I really love this. Take a look at it, see what you think. And I read it, and I just said, this is, one of the best representations of women I've ever seen in my life. I would be honored to be a part of this. And now that it's all said and done, down, whoop, whoop, down. I couldn't be prouder.
Here's Tony in Valparaiso, Indiana. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I watched that Poison Ivy, and I was wondering what it was like to do a love scene with
Tom Skerritt?
Tom Skerritt,
or Sarah Gilbert?
We'll take the Tom Skerritt part.
Okay. Well, you know, it was like quite the rage when it came out with everybody, you know, girls kissing girls with like there's something wrong with that.